AITA for deactivating my niece's social media when she refused to do an internet safety course? I am not the original poster. Original post in R. Am I the asshole? Reminder: do not comment on linked posts. Trigger warnings. Privacy and online safety. Privacy and online safety. Less than. Mood spoilers. Conflict. Oop and her niece were able to come to an agreement. Less than. An NBSP. #A.I.T.A. for deactivating my niece's social media when she refused to do an internet safety course. Son. March 20th, 2021. I have custody of my sister's daughter, a 13-year-old. She became old enough for social media a few months ago and I let her create profiles on her birthday. I said the condition was that she make her accounts private and only accept follows, friend requests from people she knows. She showed me her accounts, which were set to private, so I believed her. I also followed her, so I could see what she was posting, which she agreed to. A couple weeks ago I decided to check her profile, as I hadn't seen one of her posts in a while, despite her being on there all the time. It's public, not private, so she changed her settings. And I'm no longer following her. I'm assuming I was soft blocked as I can still see her profile. However, the part that concerned me most was her bio. She has her full date of birth, full name, town name, ethnicity, other info about her, and photos of her and her friends in their school uniforms, with the school crest visible. I told her why this was a problem, but she responded that it wasn't a problem. I told her she has two options: take an internet safety course, or deactivate all her profiles. She chose the first option. I paid for a short course, an estimated 4 hours to complete. It took a couple days, at which point she told me she'd taken the course and passed with flying colors, even showing me the certificate that said she passed. I gave it a day, checked her profile, and it was exactly the same, except I was blocked, and had to go on incognito to check it. I also checked the course website and it said that you, as in the user, spent 17 minutes on the course. That was the last straw. So I told her to deactivate everything, and I put software on the PC, which I've used to block social media. I can't do much about apps on her phone, but it's something. She's told my mother what I've done, and Mom is outraged, says I had no right to take away her social media, that I should reinstate it, and apologize for being paranoid and controlling and let her make her own choices about her personal safety. I've said she's 13 with no concept of internet safety. She can have social media back when she understands how any aspect of online safety works. My mother feels this is unreasonable and that I have moved the goalposts as she completed the course like I asked, but there's no way she completed a 4-hour course in less than 20 minutes. Mom says she's 13, not a little kid, and I need to trust that she knows what she's doing. I said she has to earn that trust first. And Mom again accused me of moving the goalposts and said her completing the course should have earned that trust. AITA for not letting her have social media? #EDIT. To be clear, this is more about my conflict with my mother, and her accusations of me being controlling. I don't expect anyone to call a 13-year-old an a-hole. Also, to clarify a few things. I'm a woman. My niece's mother is my older sister. My sister, and my niece's father, are both uninvolved in her life, which is why I have sole custody and have legally adopted her. The mother I mentioned above is my mother, who is also my niece's grandmother. Judgment. No a-holes here. An NBSP. #UPDATE. AITA for deactivating my niece's social media when she refused to do an internet safety course. 2. April 1st. 2021. It's been a few days. I read through every comment on my original post and saw all your feedback, particularly the parts about my niece being unlikely to trust me after this. I sat my niece down one final time. I talked to her again about all the information she wanted to add, trying to explain again why it was a bad idea to put her full name, her date of birth, location, and whatever else online. She still didn't believe that it could be dangerous. So I asked her what information she wanted to put exactly. She told me. I googled it. The entire first page of results was all about her, or my sister, her mother, or me. It showed her school website, as she's been mentioned in the newsletter. Her full name also brought up her personal phone number, and a website for details of the adoption. I then showed her what was linked with my name. Despite my very careful social media presence, the results included a background check website that listed all my former names, my number, my address, where we currently live, and more behind a paywall. She now completely understands what I was trying to tell her. We worked out a new deal. She's allowed social media, but instead of all the information she wanted to add, she's only allowed her star sign and that she's a minor. She can give a location, but it has to be our county, not our town. Her profile will be on private and she can only link up with people she knows IRL. I will follow her from a fake account, so her friends don't see her aunt on her friend lists. These restrictions will lessen in due time. If she does anything to screw it up, it all gets deactivated again, and we won't even revisit the topic of social media until she's 15. As for my mother, I called her and told her to back off. I said that I have custody of my niece, so I make the decisions, and Mom doesn't get to make that harder for me. That if she really thought my niece putting her full name, date of birth, location, etc. online was safe, she's an idiot, and it pisses me off that the only times I hear from her, it's so she can tell me that I'm doing something wrong, when she herself was given the chance to adopt my niece and refused. Mom essentially said that she can't believe I'd treat her like this and I shouldn't expect to hear from her for a while. An NBSP reminder: I am not the original poster. Whatever happened to stranger danger, and do not give out your real info willy-nilly? Man, I do not miss being 13. Oops should make the niece read about Ava Majuri, a teen TikTok star whose stalker came to her house with a gun and ended up shot dead by her father. https www.independent.co.uk/news/world/americas/TikTok Ava Majuri stalker home invasion B201779.html. Her story is bonkers. I believe the NYT did a longer write-up. This girl's idiot parents allowed her to sell face selfies to this follower who became obsessed with her. When his messages became more creepy, she blocked him. But the guy just reached out to her high school classmates and paid them to tell him her new phone number and home address. Longer NYT story. https www.nytimes.com/2022/02/17/politics/TikTok Ava Majuri.html. Shouldn't expect to hear from her for a while. Oh no. Anyway, that little 13-year-old girl has no idea what kind of people live on the internet, or how they can find and hurt her in real life. No concept whatsoever. I hope she doesn't find out the hard way. OP's mom for sure has her Facebook hacked on the regular, and is a prime target for the "grandma I got arrested, send me money for bail in iTunes gift cards" scam. Grandma WTF? Go auntie and niece daughter for working it all out. I was a tween during the age of Kik and Omegle, and my kids aren't going to have internet access until they're 45 years old. Let her make her own choices about her personal safety. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how kids get groomed online. Have their identity stolen. End up being exploited. It is these kinds of adults that never saw it coming. The way Op handled this was entirely appropriate. Her mother can't believe Op is teaching this child boundaries and safety. She is outraged by Op being a responsible parent, and then for the icing on the cake she'd want hear from her in a while, thereby making it all about herself. Way to make a tricky situation much harder, Granny. I think Oop handled this really well in the update. Teenagers don't have a developed sense of consequences, so they often blow off warnings because it won't happen to them. I think Oop found a nice balance between developing independence and staying safe. Another example of those who were adults when the internet appeared and those who grew up with the internet just being there, having very different opinions of safety and privacy to those who were teens and teens when the internet became easily accessible. Mom essentially said that she can't believe I'd treat her like this, and I shouldn't expect to hear from her for a while. Yay! 2 birds, 1 stone. My teenage daughter has absolutely no desire to have social media accounts, and I am incredibly grateful for that. I've been very transparent in talking about the dangers of the internet with her. Though I work in IT and this stuff is just terrifying. Plus, as an aside, I do SAT, ACT prep and college admissions counseling in the evenings for fun. If you don't have social media, the universities you apply to won't be able to Google you and see every dumb thing you've done during your teenage years. And yeah, they totally Google their applicants. I'm astounded at both the 13-year-old and the grandma. My daughter is only 10 and she has more internet savvy than both these two morons put together. When I was a freshman in college, before social media was a thing, I wrote a letter in to the editor of a comic book. About a year later, it was printed with my full name and address. And I started getting letters from all these guys who were in prison, falsely convicted, and wanted to marry me. That was more than enough to convince me that my personal info should never be listed publicly. I had the same rules for my 13-year-old daughter, along with a few others. For her safety, she knew the rules, and broke several, more than once. All have been deactivated, and remain so until she shows she understands internet safety. I have a 20-year-old female relative who has told me she does not know any women her age who were not solicited inappropriately as minors. There is nothing paranoid about managing your kids' social media and asking them to earth trust. Mom essentially said that she can't believe I'd treat her like this, and I shouldn't expect to hear from her for a while. Oh no. Stop. Wait. Come back. LMAO. Definitely listen to internet safety advice from Grandma. She knows what she's talking about for sure. I am so scared for my kids being old enough for social media. How do you even protect them?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicuricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.